Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the who's in Whoville, I am the Grumpy Vlogger. Today is day 12. It's actually the 11th, but I'm doing this for day 12 of the hashtag VEDA or hashtag Vlogger. Okay? Two different things, same thing, different connections. And so it asked, the question today was, what do I most admire in people? That's a straight up answer. Honesty, integrity, and perseverance. I want people to be honest with me. I want them to look me in the eye and tell me, you know, in all honesty, you know, that they're telling me the truth. I want to be able to look them in the eye and say they're telling the truth. Integrity. I don't want people who are going to lie to me and cheat and scheme and be scoundrels, you know. We got enough of that in the world. And perseverance. Okay, that's a hard one. I mean, everybody's got difficulties in this world, but the difference between, and I've said this before, the difference between a victim and a survivor is perseverance or moving on. You know, my wife is the epitome. She is the top of the ladder. She sets the bar very hard for me, very high for me, because in the last 10 years she's lost so many of her family members. Almost all of her family has died at a young age or an early age. She's dealt with two mild heart attacks, 3 mild strokes, Parkinson's disease, fibromyalgia, and then on top of that she has lung cancer, which then metastasizes and moves to become adrenal cancer. 5.5 years out on that. She is still doing good. Does she have bad days? All the time. Does she keep going? Absolutely, as much as she can. Perseverance, something I admire. Okay, that said and done, that's the answer to the questions. Okay, trying to keep this within a certain time constraint. So I recorded this earlier, the sound didn't come through, so I'm redoing it. Jim Hightower, shout out to you, because I know you've been down this road before. I screwed up. I was trying something different, it didn't work. So that said and done. Also, if you notice, I'm sitting here in front of my chair again because I am using my SL2 today, because we're not out at the lake or out at the cabin. It's about the time Judy got up and around, it started raining. So tomorrow is hopefully going to be the day. That said and done, let's move on to the story. The story I'm going to tell you happened when I was about 15 years old, probably, because I was still riding the bus. I hadn't started driving yet. I was with my friend Jake. We were all riding on the bus. Now, in those days, you know, I'd moved from Denver to Grand Junction, and the thing was it was country to me, but in order to fit in, I did country. And plus, you know, my dad had chewed tobacco, he dipped snuff, and my older brother did, and you know, it was just kind of a foregone conclusion I probably would too, either that or smoke, and I ended up doing both eventually. But so I started, at that time I was chewing probably beech nut chewing tobacco. Came in a pouch. It's what the baseball players used to do until they got politically correct and had to start using chewing gum instead. And but I put a big chaw in my mouth before I left school that day, because we couldn't chew in school, but the outside they kind of let us slide. So I put in, well, the bus ride was taking a little longer that day for some reason. And now there's two parts of this story. One is I put the chew in my mouth and I was riding. I was sitting next to the window. My friend Jake was sitting on the other side of me. And the other part of the story is there was a gal there at school that day, got her pretty nice blouse, had the frillies on it. This is the 70s, so you got to remember, early 70s. So you got to remember it was probably, you know, kind of a, well, look at the type of shirts they wore back then. But anyways, sort of like the Partridge Family wore, something like that, okay? And so she was just really rubbing it in everybody's faces about her daddy got her this new watch. She was one of the snobs in the school. And hang on just a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. I had to go get some ice water for Mama Vlogger. She was laying in there and couldn't get it, and because she's just not feeling good today. But anyways, back to the story. This gal had on one of these, and she'd been bragging all day her daddy'd got her this, you know, and I don't know what her name was, or I'm gonna call her Cindy for lack of anything better, because that might have been her name. But so mind you, we're riding down, and we're stopping at every stop, it seems like, and it's taking forever. And the more I sit there, the worse it gets. And I've got this big chaw of tobacco back there, and I didn't want to swallow it. I mean, if I had to, I would have, but I didn't want to. Finally, I decided I wasn't going to, because I just couldn't handle it that day. And so I pulled down the bus window, and I looked around, and I took off my cowboy hat. I want you guys to notice I got a haircut today, and I am clean shaven. Anyways, I took off my cowboy hat, and I leaned out the window, and I just, you know, patooey, right out the window she went. And it wasn't but a second or two later, we heard a blood-curdling scream. And by then, I'd sat back down, and when that blood-curdling scream happened, I didn't think anything about it for just about 3 seconds. And then we heard this laughter, and we heard this vernacular of curse words, this diatribe of profanity coming out of some girl's mouth that, I'll be honest with you, I'd never heard some of them words before. And so my friend Jake, he leans forward, and he leans out the aisle, and he looks back there, and he leans back and quietly looks at me. He says, "Mort?" "Yeah." He says, "You know who that is?" And I said, "No, I don't even know what that is." He says, "Well, that's Cindy back there." I said, "Oh, okay. Something happened in a new blouse?" He goes, "Yep." I said, "Don't tell me." He says, "Yep. She had her window down, didn't she?" "Yep." I said, "I'm a dead man, ain't I?" "Yep." That was pretty much the conversation. She'd had her window down. Well, she wasn't sitting right by the window. She was actually sitting on the aisle seat, but the gal had seen me that was sitting by the window seat, had leaned back and got completely away so that it just went, and of course it's just a big brown, and I know this is disgusting, but it's just something that happened, okay? Big brown glob of chewing tobacco. Sorry, I got the mic there. That's why you don't spit out a window when the back window's rolled down in a car, because whoever's in the back seat, my sister can attest to this because my dad used to do it all the time, and they always argued over who was going to sit in the driver's side back passenger seat, or driver's side back seat. But anyways, I digress. So that's what happened. He said he's told this story to his kids, and then eventually his grandkids as they've gotten a little older, about Mort the idiot. And this was, he said, all he remembers is as soon as that bus stopped at our stop, he saw me hot. I just shoved him out of the way, and I took off to the front, and everybody was laughing because as soon as my feet hit that aisle, so did hers. And I shot out that door, and the bus driver, he's trying to, you know, keep things calm, but, you know, be careful, don't run, you know, don't fall going out the door. And, you know, I take off, and I'm going down the road, and here she comes. She's just hot-footing right after me. I'm just running as fast as I can, and all they could see was me running as fast as I can, and her running right behind me, just slapping the snot out of me, just bapping me back and forth. Now she was slapping the fire out of me. Now I wasn't going to hit her back because it's impolite for a man to hit a woman or a boy to hit a girl. I don't believe in that stuff. But I'm telling you what, she just knocked the fire out of me. And I eventually made amends over the shirt. I did pay to get it because it had to be dry cleaned, so I did fork over some of my money to get it dry cleaned. Of course, my dad thought it was funny, my mother thought it was disgusting, so you know. So anyways, that's one of the stories of young Mort, the grumpy vlogger, when he was in high school. Just, you know, and just so you know, I don't chew tobacco anymore. Mama Vlogger wouldn't kiss me if I chewed tobacco. And anyways, guys, check out what's here. Check out what's here. Check out what's here. Remember to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. It is kind of a disgusting story, but it's true. Anyways, guys, shout out to you. I'm out of here, okay? Yeah, be good to each other. All right? I'm the Grumpy Vlogger. Bye-bye for now.